kind of rite of passage before they go vaginal.
Oh, Jesus.
But then some of the guys get like, if they fall in love with the donkey. It's on Vice if you're interested.
God, that's mad, isn't it? They fall in love with the donkey. Can you imagine it? Imagine if the donkey was like interracial sex. Of course.
Interspecies.
Interracial.
Interracial. God, no. No, let's not even go there.
Interspecies
Have you
sex.
had interracial sex?
Well, oh God, yeah. Of course. Well, I mean,
What other races?
Loads of them.
Like, name a few.
I love racing myself.
Name a few. Asian?
Yeah, I think I lost my virginity to a Japanese lady.
Oh.
Yeah, her name was Takeo.
Did she have pubes?
Listen, my son Daniel is sitting over there. Did
I'm
she have pubes?
Wondering.
Oh yeah, no, back in the late 80s and 90s.
Were they straight?
They would have pubes, yeah. But I wasn't fixated on all that stuff.
I'm just wondering. I heard Asian people do have straight pubes, and I haven't. I've not been there, so I was wondering.
Oh right, yeah.
Since you've travelled.
Yeah, I can't remember. I mean, Jesus Christ, it was 30-something years ago.
So you've been shagging for 30-something years? Surely longer. What age are you again?
58.
30. Okay, so that's what? I'm not good at maths. 18? 30? I don't know. I feel like you'd have my head on the plate if I was chewing into a microphone. That's
can you hear,
comments won't be like that.
Can you hear chewing?
Well, I'm sure. I don't know. Daniel?
A little bit.
Oh, shit, sorry about that, folks. You're dead right, Lindsay.
Yeah, it's not showbiz.
You're dead right, Lindsay.
You can call me cunt. It's actually my favourite.
You
did the other day, actually.
The last podcast we did got a lot of views, but we can't go there because. Can you talk about anything? Can you say that you've been barred or banned?
I'm actually not allowed to talk about that person anymore.
Which is good in a way, I think.
Sorry.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing, Lindsay?
That's just insane.
Who is?
That's just insane.
But I think that's how bad it got.
I didn't. The
guards had to be. The guards have to be called.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, that's why the guards were gone. Anyway, so we're glad we're over that part of our
it's
chapter.
Old news. It's old news.
Good. Yeah. So this look, I like your look. It's very, I don't know what it is like.
It's just living. I'm just living.
Oh God, I'm just living.
Okay, well, explain your look.
My look is
let's just break it down.
I just worked out, and this is a cashmere scarf.
You wear scarves when you're working out.
No, I wasn't. I didn't wear my scarf when I was working out. Oh God, it's so difficult. I did these leg things yesterday. It's like backward lunges or something. Jesus Christ! It's so, and it connects you to a part of your thinking that you normally don't because you're not exerting yourself to that extent. And it almost felt like it was so uncomfortable and unpleasant that part of you thinks, okay, I'm suffering because of all the bad things I've done. This is the acceptable price to pay, or something like that. I'm sure all kinds of ideas pop into your head when you're really properly working out.
Do any creative ideas come in your head when you're working out?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah, so some ideas. Oh yeah, me and Lindsay were having a conversation and we were getting really annoyed by her Lindsay's definition of art. Did we talk about that the last time we were on?
No, we didn't.
I don't think so.
Because Lindsay reckons.
We talked about it on my one.
Oh yeah, Lindsay reckons that what you do is art. Yeah. Anything that you do is art. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Well, can we agree that there's good and bad art?
Yeah, but that's
okay. Yeah.
But
right.
that's down to the individual. Just like there's good and bad music, but like you can't tell me what is good music overall. You can tell me what you like. Just like
well, I mean, you can tell. You know.
So are you trying to say that my art is bad art?
No, I'm trying to say that you can. I'm trying to find out what our parameters are. Like, in other words, you'll get a lot of these installation artists, and they'll think that they're so advanced, that the general public haven't caught up with their great effort and art. Mm-hmm. No, the public are well aware of what you're doing, and it's not that good. But a lot of people, not you, yes. I'm just saying, no, but what I'm just trying to say is, like, if you think everything you do is art, like, it takes a long time Like, that's not fair, actually, because it takes years and years to become good at something. So you can't just start off at being good at it.
I'm 37.
Did you hear about the...
Thanks, Daniel.
Sorry, no, did you hear about the Italian artist that auctioned off an invisible sculpture?
Oh, brilliant.
For $18,300.
That's so
and
good.
It's made of literally nothing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so there's nothing there.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Does it have a plinth?
No, I don't think there's no picture of it. There's
no picture
Yeah,
of
does
it.
it have a plinth? I would.
Oh, well, that's right up your street. That is
totally
great.
Not.
That is
it
so.
Is totally
yeah.
not. I know what you're talking about, like bullshit artists who are like so annoying. I went
Well, no,
to
but
NCAD
just
for
saying.
a little while.
You went to NCAD.
Yeah, for a little while, and there were very annoying people in that
Oh
college
my
who had
God.
like, you know, massive egos and were showing. One guy showed a blank canvas. Once I was in painting and we had to go around the different rooms, and he was like, you know, so typical, like, the art can't even be put on the canvas. You know, this crap I get, but art is just like what I do is art. I know it is.
Oh yeah, you know it is. You're the really scary ones, the ones that went on
I make
X
money
Factor.
off of it.
How? Oh, do you mean, sorry? You see, that's the thing. A podcast is what we're doing now isn't fucking art. We're just sitting down on our arses.
My podcast is art.
It's not. We're
Maybe
just sitting down. We're sitting down on our arses and we're just talking. We're not putting any deep kind of thought into it and getting better. And well, we are getting better.
Don't say that.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, Daniel, somebody said that our podcast has come to its natural end. Was it?
It's dying apparently.
Well,
we're not going to make it to the 100th episode.
Well, can I just also say to people, to the small group of people, this podcast will not end because I love doing this with my sons, Shadow and Dust. So saying this podcast will end is like saying that our family, well, eventually everything will end, but we won't fucking end.
You see,
but
it is art. Your podcast actually is
it
art.
It isn't fucking art.
It is art.
You just saw a documentary with fucking Tracey Emin.
I do love Tracey Emin.
Who
and it did change my life when I saw that documentary.
Who made some comment about, well, it's all subjective. Well, you know, Tracey's a smart person.
I'm very smart, and you are so old. Your smartness is depleting by the second, Dave. Honestly, you need to stay around and listen to me, a young, up and coming thing.
How long were you in NCAD? Daniel, if you can't just say your stuff is art. Because Tracey Emin said, Jesus Christ.
We were talking about this on my podcast, and I was saying that art is like you cannot tell me what is art, and nor can I tell you.
Did you hear that in NCAD?
No,
they really have ruined Dublin NCAD. They're so awful. I remember I went to a party once in NCAD when I was like 21 or 22. And Jesus, such a bunch of cunts roaming that place. And they're all
dare you. I had a fabulous time in NCAD.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, okay. And then they were having a party, and then one guy was just sitting on a chair pissing on himself. And I just thought, there you go.
That's art. That's
just
art
highly upset and offended people who aren't that good. Just hoping, or I mean, just waiting to get. No, I'm trying to.
You're trying to think of any excuse for me not being an artist, and you can't find it. The police had to get involved. My art is so important. The police
Lindsay,
had to step in because I'm an artist, and the guards are the guards are aware of my art. That's how good of an artist I am. That's how penetrable my art is.
Penetrable?
Yeah, it's just bleeding around. You'll go into a cafe and people will know about my art.
You mean people will know about the arguments that you got into online vis-a-vis a person we can't mention?
Yeah, but I didn't even talk to that person once.
So
it wasn't an argument.
Is it called like kind of like real life art so that it blends in with reality and with your podcast, and then I think there's a name for it, something like that, like where you put an idea out there and it makes people talk, and then
I get banned from being able to speak about it.
Well,
and it's still spoken about.
Yeah,
I think it's like what I do is cultural
it's like
commentary.
cultural commentary.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's like this. Let me try and come from this angle. I used to see a lot of guys when I started filming sketches, and you'd you'd have a guy, a man, and you'd have I probably talked about this the last time I was on. You'd have a man and a camera, and he'd call himself a cameraman.
Yeah.
Just because you have a camera and you're a man doesn't mean you're a cameraman. To be a really good camera person, you have to know what the camera does. You have to know about light and fucking distance and this and that and angles and lenses and everything like this. So there are loads of people walking around. I'm like, no, you're not a fucking cameraman. Or somebody who puts a sleeveless fucking North Face flake. I'm so angry I've lost the power.
I know, you're so angry because you're wrong.
No, because I'm right.
And stand it. You hate being
but
wrong.
You're just saying these words that don't represent reality.
But
Look,
it's
I'm
not
saying
just words. It's
sleeveless
also
jacket.
real.
If you have a sleeveless jacket and it's North Face, and you see these guys and they have these backward baseball caps and they're doing these short films and they're calling themselves a director. You're not a fucking director. You're doing a short film and you're giving it a go. Like, I mean, to be a director, I mean, you have to be able to earn a fucking living,
Okay,
and they're rubbish.
That is what happened last time. I'm earning a living on me being me. So how am I not an artist?
But that's not art.
It is.
No, I think maybe you saw some contract which said recording artist and you got mixed up. You're not,
I'm the fucking artist.
Yeah, but you're very good, Lindsay.
No,
Lindsay,
you don't get it. You don't get it.
Lindsay,
you don't
Lindsay,
get it.
you're
you
very.
don't get art.
Huh?
You don't get art.
I love that. You know when people are so angry. Look, when people enunciate. You don't. That's just.
You're the kind of
that's
bastard.
Just like that's like 2 seconds before you're going to hit somebody.
Look at a painting.
You
we could do that. We could do that. We could do that.
You're like that.
No, I'm not. I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm saying it's art. You're doing what you're doing, and you're like a disgruntled old man, being like, "All I want is my family." This is art as well, because you have had this relationship with Hannah, who is a saint. May I just say?
She's not a saint.
Yes, she is, for putting up with you. She really is. And she made you 2 beautiful children who then are your art also.
Stop
your best
with
creations.
the art.
And then
did you talk about
had all the stress and you being I'd say you were hell to be with, and she still stuck by as your friend. And now you have this podcast which represents everything of you together as a family, and other people from your life come in. That is art, because you're creating something that otherwise wouldn't be there if you hadn't put it there, which makes it art.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
According to you. But maybe that's why you're not successful anymore, because you don't believe in what you do.
I am successful. I sell more tickets now than I've ever done, even at the height of the TV show I did. So I am successful monetarily.
Well, there wasn't Instagram back then.
Yeah, well, thank God there's Instagram.
I'm just annoying you, but you have to.
No, that's okay.
You have to be a lover of the arts. If you are a
the
comedian.
arts.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you see, maybe that's. I think it's a semantic thing. Anyway, that was a big distraction. What you just said. See, Lindsay, it's like if you feel you're being challenged in any way, you just go way over to the right somewhere and you take a left turn and right turn. We're in some field that it makes no sense. What?
I don't think so.
Okay, look, we're fighting. Maybe we could just say the meaning of the word. Maybe we agree with everything. It's just the word art.
You just don't think that I
can
call myself an artist, which is so rude, because I am art.
Don't, Lindsay.
Yeah, I am.
That Tracey Emin has a lot to answer for. That she's really influenced.
And I told you to watch the interview with her and Louis
did.
Theroux.
I've seen it. I heard it. I like Tracey Emin.
And Louis Theroux, it was so dumb in that interview.
She's a very well. I think he kind of sort of plays that role, so he doesn't want to. So he tries to draw people out of themselves, so they're not in any way threatened by. But he's a very personable. I mean, he is a very clever.
He's gotten a bit annoying over the years.
Yeah,
him a bit more.
Maybe.
What one did I listen to? Katie Price and Tracey Emin. What are your thoughts on Katie Price? She's an artist.
Yeah, she's a recording artist.
Yeah, it's true. But she is art. The way that she has lived her life is art.
It's just not. I don't think anybody.
Sorry.
I don't think
anybody's going to look back, when we're shadows and dust, and think about what they're going to sit around a fire and somehow look at the collected accumulative life of Katy Perry and sort of,
Price,
kind of warm
Jordan.
Katy Price. And warm their hands,
they will.
No, they. What?
Yes,
Who
they will.
What about? Okay, what about?
Hello, Anne Frank.
What about?
We're still reading that feckin' book.
Yeah, that's Anne Frank.
Yes.
Katy.
Anne Frank would have been like,
Anne
Frank
is an author. And that is a fantastic piece of work for a 13-year-old child. What are you on about? You're just making stuff up.
Now that you're telling, so that's a piece of work.
No, it was a great novel or whatever it was.
She died. Now it's a fucking. So if I die, would you call it art?
But you wouldn't call her life art. It was a terrible fucking tragedy.
But the way that she.
Okay, so everybody's life is art.
She
then.
created art out of her life. In the form of.
Yeah, definitely. What? I'm getting confused.
Well,
Daniel.
it's just a matter of interpretation. What you see as art.
I just want to see. Okay,
you're not going to look up the definition.
Art.
Like.
I mean, a life like of a reality person can be a reality TV show. Star can be viewed as art in some way, I guess.
The expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, typically in a visual form such as painting or sculpture. Okay, look, I'd like that definition. A really good painting. You know when you see somebody who's incredibly gifted as an artist or a painter, and I think that is fucking great, a bit of art.
Yeah, but it's 2024, hon. It's not about paintings on the wall anymore.
It's 2024, hon.
It's not about paintings. We're not sitting.
So you think... look, this is bonkers. You think that just talking on a podcast is art. It's not art.
But I'm not just talking on a podcast. I'm constantly observing everything around me, and I think quicker than most people. And I deliver that. And then next year, like, I know that the person I'm not allowed to talk about now will continue on as they continue on. And in about 10 years, 5 years, whenever stuff goes down, they'll be like, remember?
Well, okay, how about this?
Talking about that ages ago, and now look what's happened.
Okay, fair enough. But how about this? If you do it way, 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 way better than everyone else, then maybe I'll acknowledge that there's an artistry to what you're doing.
So who's doing it better than me?
Are you? Where's Donald Trump? Are you Donald Trump? Who's doing it better than me? I'm the greatest. I am the greatest. Yeah, I love Donald Trump. He is the greatest. I'm a self-fulfilling prophecy. I am art. I do not flush my shits. I just look at them. I stack them up one on top of the other. I plastinate them. I cover them in plastic, and I keep my shit. And I
don't know much about Trump, right? But I did have a boyfriend who was kind of obsessed, and we watched that documentary a good few times. The Trump. I think it's like 3.
Oh, that's a great film, actually. What is it called? The Apprentice.
Oh, and he was the apprentice. He was the man. He was the boss.
There was a film just recently, not The Apprentice, and his lawyer, Roy Cohen. Oh. Jesus Christ, what a slithery dude. Smart man, but fucking hell. Oh. I'm looking at Daniel's eyes. Daniel looks a little bit stoned to me. My son is stoned over there.
Are you stoned?
How dare you?
Yeah, you get price lists, you know that, on WhatsApp? And then you get it delivered to your door.
Send on the details.
In other words, you get it delivered to your door by a guy disguised as a what is it? Deliveroo driver.
Oh.
So you get a price list. Which ones? Which grass makes you all chilled out and not too high?
Indica.
And does that make the body stoned?
Yeah. And
which makes the brain stoned?
Sativa.
Okay.
And you can choose that the difference on the menu.
Yeah, just ask. Just ask them.
Interesting. I like Cali. That's making me more.
What's Cali, Daniel?
Cali is Californian weed. It's just very strong. Yeah.
Oh God.
I didn't know it was strong. Well, now I do.
Is it very strong, Daniel?
Well, it's meant to be pure.
Well, it makes me think I'm an artist, so it must be fucking strong. But like, I was stoned watching Back to Black. Have you seen it?
The film.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yeah, the film about Amy Winehouse's life.
And
extraordinary. How old was she when she died?
27.
It's madness. But if you see, talk about somebody who's self-aware and who kind of knows what she's about, or knows what what her goals are. It's extraordinary, the maturity of someone like. I think watching that movie, and it was panned before it even came out, and I'm a big Amy Winehouse fan, and I follow all these like Amy Winehouse Instagrams, and they're all like, don't go see the movie, because a lot of her main fans have a negative connotation to Mitch Winehouse, her dad. Oh, I see.
Because Rehab, the song was kind of made because, you know, he said that she didn't need rehab, and
I see. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of blame going on with people who were associated to Amy Winehouse, like Blake, her husband. But when you look at the whole Amy Winehouse span of fame, and that, like, however many years that she was in the public eye, The whole thing was an art performance.
Oh God.
It was. When you look at how like the paparazzi were involved, like that was a point in time that isn't really happening as much anymore.
Yeah, but if you know,
and her outfits, like she wouldn't leave the house without a beehive. She was on
I know, but
crack.
you know, she had to wake up. She had to do this. She had to, you know, go to the toilet. You know, it's not art. It's some, you know, objectively. You know, some.
So what, because she didn't piss artistically, you don't think that it's art?
Yeah,
you're talking such crap.
You're just going mad on this art thing. I don't know
why
where
does that word annoy you?
Because you're just going. It's art. Everything art.
But
you know,
if you're
like a chicken on a farm going art.
Yeah, but you just don't get it, Dave. You're old and withered and uninspired. I'm still young and inspired. That's what's fabulous about being young.
It is funny.
Like
it makes me think, because I get that a lot, you know, from younger people. You know, you're old, you know, or like. By the way,
I get it too.
I was doing a gig. I'm doing a gig in Barcelona, and the organizer left a message on my tour manager's phone, and he says, "Oh yeah, well the vibe on the street is some of the younger comedians think the reason David McSavage is not selling tickets for this Barcelona gig is that he's too old." I'm like, you absolute cunt.
That is very mean.
But I mean. Loads of, you know, think of all the great comedians now. I'm not putting myself in that category, but I'm saying all the big ones who sell out stadiums. They're mostly over 50, or except fucking Matt Rife. You know, this Matt
He's
Rife.
already hated, though.
Huh?
Isn't he already hated?
Well, Matt Rife is very successful. I mean, yeah, it's a bit sort of, hey, how you doing? Where are you from? What do you do for a living?
One, is he?
But anyway, it just made me. So it makes me realize maybe I should act now like young people act towards old people. Maybe I should just start ripping into young people. Go on, you zero life experience, passive aggressive little woke, fucking confused piece of shit, fucking dickhead. You know, fuck off. You know what I mean? I think anger is really the only way to kick up against this. You know, as if old age, as if I chose to look like fucking shit. Fuck off, cunt face.
It's the
and what are you going to do with your young? What?
I'm old, according to a lot of people. 37 is old, but I just act young. Yeah. And then it's like you're always young if you just act young.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to be old. I don't want to get older and not get a tiny little bit of wisdom.
Well, I can be wise and still act young.
How do you act young?
But you act all tired. That's what makes maybe.
What I act tired when you go on about art because it's so tiring. Is that?
Okay, let's talk about something that.
So wait a second. Yeah, but wait a second. So in other words, this is part of your. That's your attack. You know, I don't know. I'm getting tired. I'm getting disgruntled because you've just got this word art in your head, and then everything's art, and then nothing is art. Then if everything is art, you know, I mean, you have to have some kind of fucking descriptions or some parameters, and you also have to work very, very, very. You can't just
I work like a dog.
You just say that. You just said
like
that.
A dog.
You don't work like a dog.
I do. I do.
Okay, what you do?
Don't understand.
Go on then. Okay, tell me.
You don't understand.
Tell me.
I live and then I collect everything and then I spit it out on my podcast because I attract such a certain type of person. And it's comical that like it keeps on happening. I'm so susceptible to this dumb kind of shit that then I can learn from, and I can tell my listeners, oh guys, you know, this is, you know, the goings on of the streets.
What do you mean you work like a dog? How do you work? What did you do yesterday? Like how many hours did you work? And what did it entail?
From the second I woke up, I was straight at it.
You're so.
Look,
look, you know, you're very interesting. You're funny, and you got lots of talent and all the rest of it. But I don't just the word art just sort of plastered.
I was in art college. College.
NCAD. I mean, the fact that, you know, like there are those who teach and those who do, and you know, these teachers, what do they actually know about? What have they created? What have they? Have they pushed the fucking frontiers of our?
It really annoyed me when I was in college. So that annoyed me.
Okay,
I was like, why would I ever listen to you? You're teaching in an art college.
Yeah.
That's not what I really.
How long were you there for?
So I went for the first year, and then I decided to do sculpture, but then I did sculpture and it was all like, oh, we all have to do the sculptures together. It was group projects. I fucking hated that. So then I was like, I want to go to painting, and they told me, well, you have to do another portfolio. So I dropped out and like was getting stuff out of skips and painting them to make more, and then I got into painting, and then I got pregnant, so I had to drop out.
Okay.
So I didn't really do it.
How long was that for?
About 2-3 years.
And you enjoyed your time there?
Oh, it was great. I was just drinking and kissing boys and having a fabulous time.
That's art.
Well, there was this like back in the day in NCAD, there was this like prefab where you could just go and smoke and talk about art, and that's what I do. When all the actual artists were upstairs, like working at the art, I was like sucking on a joint talking like. And there was some guy. He was so interesting. He had taken an acid trip and never came back.
Oh shit!
And he thought I was Molly Malone.
Oh God.
The statue, because they're covered today, but I do have absolutely massively pert breasts.
Yeah, which we need to at some point display for our
for
thumbnail.
The thumbnail.
And of course, then in seriousness, there is that thing when something new that hasn't been seen before is presented to the public, and people are, that's not art. And I think that's where the Tracey Emin thing comes in, where she had, I think there was a very, very famous kind of presentation where she had her bed, sort of, she'd been sleeping in it or, for a few days, and it's just all the things, activities that she had been doing in the bed were just left there. And I think nothing had been seen like that. So it was a representation of so many people's lives, and you're just sort of putting it up on a pedestal to kind of, you can tell a lot by what's going on here in this story. So it made people think, but also then a lot of people were saying, well, how is this art? But she's a very, very smart person and defended what she does brilliantly.
So well. So I was listening to on Audible, because I love her book Strangeland. I very much recommend it. It's a memoir, but she writes so beautifully.
She's very art. Sorry, yeah.
She's like a poet the way she writes. And so I think I wanted to listen to that, but she hasn't got it on Audible, so I put in Tracey Emin on Audible, and they have compiled like a lot of radio excerpts and interviews over the years into this one big Audible, and it's all these like posh old men on the radio being like, so if I put my bed in a gallery, is that art? And she's no, she's like defending.
Was that when she went on this TV show Pissed?
That was so she put the bed in for the Turner Prize and it won, and then there was this like TV show with all the artists where they discuss it, and she came on Pissed, and I think she had something from the hospital, like those little finger things they put on for your heart, like she had that on, and she was really drunk. But
she was such a breath of fresh air, I thought, and they were just dusty old bastards. So like I'm a dusty old bastard compared to you, am I? And also there was that great film about Pollock. Ed Harris did it. And he was talking about Pollock, and he said, I'm paraphrasing now, but he said about Jackson Pollock that Pollock had some connection to some kind of universal thing, but the rest of his life he hadn't got a fucking clue. But that's the thing. Like, I don't understand. I think Pollock said this. He said, you look at a flower, on a particular day, and the sun is shining on the flower. You don't question it. You just look at the flower, and you just love the way it looks, and you just enjoy it, and that's it. And you don't. And I think he described his paintings like that. I mean, they're quite extraordinary how he made them. There's actually a documentary showing how he created these drip paintings. And he sort of layers them all up. But then you look at them, and I don't know. I mean, it's hard to explain. I'm sure there are great art historians and critics who can explain it. But they do. There is something. There's something, you look at it and there's something there that's you've never seen before. It's kind of like you can feel it. Okay, well, it's kind of like that time I heard Sinead O'Connor sing. So she was like, I went to see her live, and obviously I was very, very drunk, whatever. But my chakras were open. But it was like listening to a visual it was like listening to an audible representation of a Pollock painting. There was some connection. I saw her in some fucking festival. I think
there was a few, like I have a lot of people who I truly adore, like who would be artists, who like I would have seen them or heard them or seen their work, and it just gripped me, and I pull them around, I carry them around with me forever. So when I was in fourth year, so my parents, they're like real religious, so I wasn't allowed to watch like Friends, The Simpsons, and I just was starved for like, I was so hungry
without knowing it,
just for content that was like could speak to me. And I was in like one of our like a family room with a small TV, and I found a documentary on Tracey Emin when I was about 16, and it was like about her life in Margate and like all kind of different things that had happened when she was growing up. Like she had got, I don't know, there were freaky old men in Margate, and she was having sex when she was 14, and the way she spoke was just so poetic, and it shone this light on like a world that I didn't know, because my home was so I was just so sheltered, and and I only had to go to church, and sex was so forbidden. And if ever there was anything even remotely sexual on TV, if we were watching like a family movie, my mum and dad were like fast forward, so I'd just see the like bodies going and I'd be like, my body would be like, please get this fucking scene over with. And then I was like, so I fell in love with Sex and the City and all these kind of shows that just like fed me, and I became so hungry for these shows. And I think growing up with Tracey Emin, going into art college, and now seeing how she's able to maintain relevancy over the years, even on Instagram, and even when she had like, she got cancer and has like a colostomy bag, and she made art out of that. Like she's, everything she lives, she like presents as art.
Oh, okay. Well,
in a really successful way.
Yeah, I think also what it's funny as you were talking about that. So you're young, you're 16, and you want to hear something that speaks to you. That it's like a breath of fresh air. You know the way you meet certain people on the street and you feel drained after talking to them, and then you meet somebody on the street, you bump in, and you just your faith is restored in humanity.
Yeah.
There's just an uplifting feeling, and it's a great thing to experience. And I think as you were describing Tracey Emin there in Margate, there's so many people's lives, and there's so much interesting stuff that we can learn, but it's all gone. It's not recorded. It's not documented. It's not even acknowledged. So that's, I think, what Tracey Emin's great gift was. She's kind of there's that sort of super normality to things. I mean, there's that magic, the magic of normality of everyday stuff, like you're saying, things that go. Well, I mean, not that her having. Did she have fairly bad sexual experiences when she was 14? But yeah. That. So she elevates. I mean, that's what Andy Warhol did with these beautiful soup can paintings. You know. He sort of showed that actually there's a beauty in things that we see every day. Like sometimes I look into my sink. I see this all the time. You know, if the light's shining the right direction, I look into the sink, and there's there's a tea bag of this, a knife, and it's just in a certain way. It's framed by the sink, and I just find myself transfixed by it.
I think like true authenticity and passion is art, and you can feel that when you see real art. You know, when you like hear a musician.
There you go, real art. Now you just said it. There you go. So everything isn't art.
No,
well, you said real art.
No, I've never
you just
said
checkmate,
that everything.
Bitch. Out, get out.
You have an issue that you want to be right.
You
all
have
the time.
An issue. You disgruntled
and then
old
it's really difficult.
Woman.
Old.
You put you on the shelf. You're not. By the way, I've never thought of you as old. I was just. No. That was hurtful.
Oh.
I was being defensive.
That I called you old.
I was being, I held
we're
that.
We're both kind of old though.
You're not old. You're
like
not,
we're older
I'm looking
than someone.
You're older than so.
You know. But like, I mean, well, we are now in a phase where it's very easy to get, like Andy Warhol predicted that we would get our 15 minutes of fame. Everyone has it right now.
Yeah, but there's different types of fame. You know, there's fame that, you're in a car accident fame, and there's fame that, you've actually achieved something.
But it is still fame. But like that's like people are striving.
I don't want to be infamous. I want to be famous.
I know, but you don't, and it's not. But it's not about you. If you look at society, like people are obsessed with what's viral, what's this, what you are as well. You were talking about Hawk 2 last time I was here. A viral moment. People are obsessed with the idea of having attention. Are people just wanting attention?
Well, that Hawk 2 girl, she's transpose that into actual success, but she's
She has her own podcast now called Talk to Her.
Yeah, she's also very likable. Yeah. Hayley Welch. I mean, it's amazing that I would know her, but there you go. She's actually she's a very sweet, endearing, likable person.
Successful at the moment. Let's see what happens in 10 years.
Yeah.
It's probably not been a year that was even out, and so like you're judging her success on.
Yeah, but when you see her now popping up in your feeds, you're not thinking of Hawk Tua. I mean, it's in the background, but she's kind of. What do you think?
That's all I'm thinking about. I'm like, that's mad that she now is like just from that. But she is I think what's good about her was that she very much represents that part of America and that type of girl. She's authentic. And that's why she was so okay with talking how she did on that street interview.
Yeah, very sweet, very sweet.
So that was
definitely very sweet. Definitely very sweet.
A sweet girl who loves to chow down on cock.
Chow down on cock.
I love chowing down on cock. It's actually my favourite thing to chow down on.
That's so NCAD. Hey, yeah, Art. I chow down.
Says the man who wants a dry BJ.
Ugh.
You said that 3 times on a podcast.
Oh, stop it. My son is here.
You say that all the time. Your poor son has been put through God knows.
My poor son. That's why he gets stoned, to insulate himself.
Do you get stoned every day?
I mean, you know. No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want it. I just want to get stoned every single day.
It's not good to get stoned every day, but God love him. I mean, I hope he, I would say that you're medicating yourself. You're not fully engaged in the world, and certainly motivation wise, there's no way to have a proper goal and to work towards it. Not that I'm doing that at the moment.
Oh, that you can't. Rihanna smokes weed.
Well, Rihanna financially is in a position where she can just goof off, can't she?
Snoop Dogg is all about weed.
Yeah.
But I think it depends on some people. You see, that's the thing. People look at a Rihanna or a Snoop Doggy Diggy Doggy. No, but you see, their brain chemistry is that. Like, I knew people who could fucking smoke and they could sort of compartmentalize, and this part of their brain they could enjoy the fact that they're stoned, and this part of their body they could kind of be functional.
Yeah.
My whole thing was I was gone. If I was stoned, I just had to, and that's it. So it doesn't suit everyone. That's the problem with every fucking drug.
I would just have it at night. Yeah, I couldn't. Like, some people wake up.
Well, you see, and then I had a mate called Alex Mielowski, and he'd only smoked a little bit. He'd just get a bit of a thing. But most people, like my son Daniel, I think smokes, and he's not going to admit anything to me. So I just have to guess.
Let's say allegedly.
Allegedly, I'd say he smokes a lot, too much, and then like everyone does.
Okay, how many joints a day? If you were,
I don't think you should put him on the spot, or maybe unless he wants to. I'll actually do it. Ask him. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't going to put him on the spot.
We'll put him on the spot.
For your dream day, what would be? How much joints would you smoke?
Ideal. I think 4 is okay.
Jesus Christ, 4.
I would think that's fine. Yeah.
4 fucking joints.
That sounds like a great day to me. That was so fun. Like, listening
and how
to
much?
music
And
is
the
so
guy
much
does it.
better.
How much does he afford that? How much?
I don't know, but it's a lovely experience. Like, I call up my guy and he like drives it out, and I'm like, thank you so much. And like, you're supporting local businesses. It's fabulous.
Or is this you trying to sound like you're young?
And I have pink skins. Like, you can like make joints cute. Like, I have a little pink grinder, and then I got like a pink skin, so it's like an accessory. I'm cool because I'm like smoking weed. It's cool. It's just
There's
cool.
like moments when you're like really intelligent, right? And it's like you're thinking, shit, I'm really in the presence of somebody who's got that, and then suddenly it disappears, and it's
Weed
just
is
like
cool.
you just like. And it's like, oh,
look, I know, but I totally do have that bad thing where I think it's cool to do certain things. Like, I do just feel cooler if I have a joint in my hand. I think
let's put it down to this. Like, at my age, I'm not going to be. I don't have enough time to fuck around. Like I think it's a young person's thing. They've got a few years to piss away a little bit, and you can smoke and you can do fucking, you can goof off, and you can have these luxurious beliefs. But at some point, you're going to have to get down to fucking work, and you're going to have to work really hard, and you don't give a shite. When you get up, I remember, like, when I was a kid, I was always called a waster. Oh. You little fucking waster. You're a waster. And it went in one ear and out the other. But it's true. That's almost what youth is about. It's the beauty of just they say youth is wasted on the youth or something like that.
On the young, yeah.
On the young.
I think of
that, and that's what's beautiful about youth. It should be just very carefree, and, well, not should be. Some people, like our Amy Winehouse was very self-aware and knew exactly what she was about at a very young age, which was quite extraordinary to watch. If you ever see her being interviewed, she's so smart, and when she lasers in on someone, you're like, fucking hell. It's so emotionally intelligent. And so destructive at the same time.
Well, when you see celebrities now, they're so curated in their image.
Right,
like, she curated that image all by herself. Like,
well, I mean,
mad.
but I mean, going further back, that's how it was done.
Yeah, true.
Apparently, Daniel, there's questions now about the veracity of the election results in the United States of America, because apparently Elon Musk, who owns Starlink, also owns the ballot counting computers. And so, Kamala Harris's team are calling for a recount. Oh. What do you think of that, Daniel? Do you think it's going to all go to shit really quickly? They're going to recount and...
Well, you were saying that the election results kind of were weird in the way that... there was no split decision in the states. Like, it was either Republican or Democrat. There was no in between. Yes. So that was kind of...
Well, yes, there were certain states that they just were so surprised that Trump, it made no sense. But maybe Trump's campaign was just so more successful than Kamala Harris.
I think it was. And I mean, I know nothing about politics.
I mean, you have to say that Trump, though, I mean, some of those jokes that he came out with were just so funny.
He's so funny.
He's so funny.
And he's just so
But what's weird about him is you hear the Democrats.
I kind of like him.
The Democrats hate him so much. They just can't stand him. And you hear all these things like 20 allegations of sexual assault, and he's somehow... it's very confusing.
It's so confusing. And like I said, I had a boyfriend who was really into Trump, and politics is so difficult. So there's some things that I find so hard. My brain can't absorb politics and numbers and stuff like that, like tax. I don't understand.
I know.
That
I know what you mean. Yeah. But maybe, do you know something though, Lindsay? We say this about ourselves. But maybe we're just, it's also a self, the way you're saying you're art. But maybe it's self-fulfilling prophecy. Maybe if you just fucking concentrated on it. Maybe what you're saying is...
I've really tried. I have been with my accountant, and he's like, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. And then I'm like, right. And he's like, any questions? I'm like,
I don't even know what
to ask. What is tax again?
Yeah.
And he's like, with the salt shakers, like, da-da-da, da-da. And then you pay that. And I'm like, and it gets so ridiculous that I just lie. He's like, really, he's dumbing it down to the point of like ABC. And I'm still like, so I'm like, I get it now. Thank you.
I got this, speaking of that, right? I know exactly what you mean, Lindsay, because I got this message today from my tour manager. And he says, this is as regards some gig I'm doing. I have filled in a form. once you hear that,
no.
The word form.
I hate forms.
Form.
I hate forms. They're horrible.
They're like
things.
Worms.
Ew, a form. Oh, what was it for?
Look.
I have so many forms that I have to fill out. I just know.
It's like the opposite of horniness, isn't it? It's like horniness. Yeah. Form. Look, here's a form. It's like yellow and grey and cobwebs and there's a form.
It's horrible. What form?
Okay,
what's this form for?
A form. I have filled in a form for the theatre next week, but they need stuff that I don't have. Can you get a?
Oh no.
Can you get a copy of your bank statement? Right, a copy of your bank statement. And then and can you get a tax clearance certificate? Oh, but he abbreviated the certificate and he just called it tax clearance cert. To kind of make it a bit jazzy. Yeah,
snappier.
A tax clearance cert. So I ring him up. What's a tax clearance cert? It's better to prove that you're the tax and pay tax. And where do I get that from? I just ring up your accountant. Oh, yeah, imagine just ringing up the accountant. Hello, accountant. Hello. Yeah, I need a tax clearance cert. All right. A tax clearance cert. And then he'll go. Right, on 25th of 1, we'll send the 5 on the 2, on the 1, on the 2, and up the 3. Right, and turn left. Oh, go away.
It's hell. I'm so...
It's amazing. It's so shit, this system of taxation, that there's a whole world that is a career for people who can deal with it, who can deal with the sort of, with the monotony of it all. So it's probably... Look. It's probably quite easy. Look, the way you look. Hang on a sec. Kitchen. You put your cornflakes there. You put your salt there. I think with tax, it's just you hit your hair and you let her and you let her.
It's just so boring, and I hate doing boring things. Even if I know it's gonna, I need to do those things, or else I won't have a house. I won't have bloody food. And
Can
money.
we just fill out this form, Lindsay? Go on. I'm going to do it now. I'll be your accountant. Okay.
Hello, Lindsay.
Hello. What do you want, bitch?
There's a brown form you didn't fill out. Did you fill out the green form I sent you 3 years ago?
Yeah, I'll fill it out right this very moment.
Right.
Thank
Now,
you.
the brown form, it requires a verification certificate from the Land Home Office.
Ah, okay.
Do you have 35?
Would you get that for me? Would you mind doing that for me?
Ugh.
Like my parents are now, we call it Admin's Wednesday. I've been missing a few Wednesdays, but like because I'm so bad, they're so good. My parents are
really?
like, my dad has like filing cabinets.
Oh, that's great.
Like he's so organised, and their house is run like a tightly run ship. So they like bring me down on Wednesday and like force me to send these emails. Like I'm a total like idiot. Like they're like, now sit down, and I'm like, okay, write to this person, and it's just hell.
Write to
and
what person?
Like fucking just like this and that, like the landlord or
Also,
the alarm. Like I
yeah.
I live over a restaurant, and the alarm goes off twice every night.
Have I been to your place?
Yeah, remember years ago, my ex.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and you look out onto the bay.
Yeah,
you're still there.
Yeah, still.
How long
there.
have you been there?
Oh, so fucking long, growing out of it. I feel like Alice in Wonderland when her feet are coming out of the house. Like I'm just too big for this house.
And you see also in the news today, Conor McGregor, there has been allegations of the
alleged.
R word.
Very, very grim and so horrible. Would you have him on your podcast?
Well, it's funny. I did a gig in Castlebar, and a Ngardi came up to me and told me about stuff he'd heard or known about Conor McGregor, allegedly.
Oh.
And so this stuff has been around for a while.
Yeah.
But so this is an assault case. Paramedic who examined Conor McGregor or accuser. I'm not.
Well, you can say it.
The rape accuser tells court she had not seen someone so bruised in a long time. Yeah. Conor McGregor and co-defendant James Lawrence deny the claims. So. Well, you very rarely hear somebody who is accused of that saying, actually, standing up, I did do it. So they're trying to.
Well, he's saying that he did have sex with her, but that it was consensual, and that it was boisterous, aggressive sex that she consented to.
Yeah.
But her tampon had to be removed by forceps.
How did you hear this?
Last week I was listening to a podcast about it. That came out last week. I think the woman took to the stand and said that, and that was confirmed by, I think it was the Rotunda or wherever she went. So it was confirmed that she'd been R-worded allegedly. So
during an examination, she saw the examiner or the doctor saw bruising around her chest, breast, down her legs, as well as around her buttocks and thighs. When asked about the severity of the bruising, Miss Scully told the court that she had not seen someone so bruised in a long time. Yeah. Well, I just would say that there's always that kind of thing in the back of people's mind. People ask, especially guys, oh, she's probably doing it for publicity or something like that. But I did talk to the head of the Rape Crisis Centre when I was making The Savage Eye, and I was doing loads of research. And apparently it's as high as 95, maybe even higher % of women who come forward, they're not making it up, because what's in it actually to say? If you think about it, why would a person come forward and say that somebody's violated them? What's in it for them?
And that would be
such a personal thing and so horrible.
And she praised the Rape Crisis Centre. I think she went for counselling with them every week since it's happened.
Okay.
And then she had to give up her job because she worked in a salon, and she just didn't feel like she was, gossip in a salon. They were always talking about it, and she was just like so tense by going to work and knowing that was about her, because it was in the papers in 2018. I'm pretty sure they just called him like an unknown sports star, but sure, we knew who it was. And,
it's funny, isn't it?
It's just weird how people are like refuse to believe. I think I've learned over the past couple of years, I used to be a lot more innocent and think like, oh, everyone's nice, and it's rare for people not to be nice and kind and good people, but it's actually quite rare to find good people. Really rare. And I think like we've seen him punch that old man in the pub for not trying his whiskey. We've seen the way he just goes on. What are you expecting him to be doing? like he just, and we've seen him change so much. I think when Conor McGregor first came out, he always had an ego, but he was a lot more
self-aware
human or something. Like he was like
he's got corrupt because of the amount of attention, money, power, shall we say.
I think fame nowadays is so much more intoxicating than maybe it was back in the day. Because like if you look at P. Diddy, like his fame as well, like just the levels of fame are so unnatural.
But it's a very serious fucking allegation. And like, you know, when I was growing up, you know, my dad, you know, obviously we didn't have the greatest relationship, but my God, he said to me, like he drilled it into me, you know, women, you respect women, respect, you know, like really super respectful. So like, it's so bad. It's just so bad that this stuff happens to women.
It's so strange that what I'm hearing people say, okay, so now it's the whole construct of how the court system works for victims of rape or sexual assault is so archaic. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Because they're saying, okay, like that she went down in the lift after this supposed incident, what she's saying happened, and then there's CCTV of them in the lift, and I think she like kisses his arm, so she looks quite personable and quite content in his company after something, you know, so horrific happening. And they're questioning, you know, how horrific was it if you're happy to be down in the lift kissing his arm and kind of messing around with him. But I think society is very unversed in how people react to traumatic situations. Like I got raped by a friend of mine, and I stayed friends with him for like 5 months, had him over at my house, had him on my podcast. Like it's weird. The whole thing is weird. Like, and there's also different variants. What I find mad about this McGregor one is this was a brutal one. So not only is she saying that it was non-consensual, she's showcasing, you know, physical, like her bruises and the tampon lodged up her, and you know she wasn't able to continue on with her work. She's in mortgage arrears, all these things, the impact that it had, and that seemingly gives her, I don't know, the fact that it wasn't even brought to court as a criminal case, it's a civil case. They said there wasn't enough evidence for a criminal case. So it's scary place for like people in general to be seeing something like this so publicly. And I mean, family members of mine have said things like, oh sure, why is she going into the hotel room? Right.
Which is not a million miles of why is she wearing such a skimpy dress?
Yeah. And like I think as well, because she has a child and she had a partner.
Sorry, just to clarify what I just said in case people want to misinterpret it. It was almost like a defense. You know, where in the olden days people would say, well, women are asking for it if they dress in a certain way, and that's absolutely ridiculous thing. It's almost saying that excusing men that they're wild beasts, and once they see a bit of flesh, they
we're like enticing you into.
Yeah, so that is completely wrong. That's what I was referring to in case there's any woke Trinity students.
And that's when what happened with, was it Aisling Murphy who was murdered? Remember a few years ago?
But it's so interesting what you say. Sorry to talk over you there, but sorry to talk over you there, Colette. But it's so interesting what you say about there was CCTV footage of this woman after the alleged assault, and she was seen. Who knows how an individual after a traumatic experience, like I said, it's a very good point. We don't, but then people who have no experience suddenly make a judgment. Well, see, it didn't happen. She wouldn't have done that if that had happened. Well, you don't fucking know. Maybe she was trying to appease. She was in shock. Who the fuck knows?
Like, he's a scary person.
Yeah.
And there's been multiple, like, you just go on his Wikipedia and you see all the things that he's been accused of. I feel sorry for Dee. I think there's so much like conversation that goes on around Conor McGregor. Oh, and you know, she's the bigger fool for staying with him and stuff. Like, I'd say she's in hell. Right. Not enough for Sashi would like put up with that. Like, oh, I'd say she's in such hell. Wealth is not like it's just not good for, like, he does not deserve all the money that he has, and that money gives him such power, and he uses it disgustingly. So, like, I've heard so many things that I couldn't even say because, like, people tend to tell me things about Conor McGregor, and then they're like, because people are scared as fuck of this man.
What are they scared of? Does he have a crew behind him or something?
I think he's linked to like dangerous people. Well, yeah, he definitely is. I'd say he's fucking.
But we do see clips of Conor McGregor supposedly having a good time, and it doesn't look like my idea of a good time. It looks like he's smiling, and somehow looks like he's not having a good time.
He's so, like, the ego is crazy. I don't think we've seen in an Irish celebrity with that much of a disgusting, obvious ego. It's gross. And he kind of, I think he gets away with it in America a little bit because he, like, bite-sized this, like, confident fucking Irish man who loves drinking. They're like, yeah, up McGregor. But he's so nauseating the way he goes on. Like, the Mac is back.
Yeah, it's gone, yeah.
I used to fancy him a bit when he first came in.
But also, you know, look, this division, you know, this, you know, divide and conquer stuff, you know, can we just talk about men and women? We're in this social experiment of life together. We need to look after and protect ourselves. And it's the weakest, most disgusting thing for a man or someone who's stronger than someone else to overpower them. It's really, really bad. It's disgusting. And I don't know.
Maybe boxing should be illegal. And like UFC,
no, but it's nothing to do.
Any contact sport should be illegal.
It's nothing to do with. It's nothing to do with boxing.
But
for
like,
Christ's sake,
it's
nothing to do with
good.
it. It's like
not
PD.
good.
Yeah, but it's wait a second. You know, most.
He's famous for fighting.
Yeah, but that's not what
That's
got
bad.
him to do with.
That's
That's not how. The fact that you're a boxer, that you're physically very strong, has no correlation with being. Assaulting people.
It totally does. Come on. Like, that's so dumb.
Well, no.
Didn't Mike Tyson do weird stuff as well to his
okay.
wife? Did he R-word? I think he did. Was it Mike Tyson?
Yeah, but okay. But
like,
I don't think.
bad.
Sorry, obviously
like
you have. That's like you obviously have the capability to overpower people, but it's not a cause of you know. It's so difficult to have this conversation without using certain words, and I don't.
You can say whatever you want to say.
Oh,
Mike Tyson is apparently fighting a guy called Jake Paul this Friday.
Oh, is he this Friday? Yeah,
this Friday. Yeah. It'd be interesting. Yeah,
He's way younger than him. Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Well, I would if I was Mike Tyson's trainer. This is my thing. If I was Mike Tyson's trainer, I mean, I don't think he has the explosive or elasticity or the movement of a young Mike Tyson, or also the athleticism, the fitness. But maybe he can do it for one round, or maybe 2 rounds. And I think if he could, Mike Tyson, it would be over very quickly. But I don't think he is that person anymore. I think it would be. I think it's probably more of an exhibition match, Daniel.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what
do you
they
think?
all are now, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's for the money, but.
But I was watching the Katie Taylor fight and Reynos, or I can't remember her name. Jesus, that was a fucking great fight. There was she is some warrior, that Katie Taylor.
I know. I love
Jesus
I love the
Christ.
female fighters.
And it's so weird. Like, she's as tough as anything in the ring. And then the minute the thing's off, she's like, here, who are you? And you're going like, huh? She's like, sound. And she's so not violent in any way, shape, or form.
And she doesn't have an ego. And she's
it doesn't look like it.
Like,
what was the name of the fighter she was fighting?
I can't remember.
Jesus, the fucking beatings that these two were at.
But is it not a bit mad that is a sport?
Well, exactly because it is dangerous makes it so. It taps back to thousands of years.
Watching it.
Thousands of years.
I love it.
But also they're fighting each other. Are
you not entertained?
They've been both the fighters are very well trained. But yeah, it's dangerous. Of course it is.
I mean, I would hate, like, my son doesn't want to do any of that. I would be scared if he wanted to do that. Like, I think Conor McGregor as well is kind of fucked from all the punches. I'd say he's so fucked. That must be why he's the way he is. That he's just brain damaged. He can't. It's like he's like a big Play-Doh fucking.
Or the way he looks now, his face is quite changed. Is that not because of
steroids or something?
Or fillers or something?
I don't know. I'd say I don't know. He's so ham-like. Like a boiled ham. I do really like those cauliflower ears. I've always been attracted to them.
Yeah.
You know, when they get those like real, I love that. It's like a hard cartilage. I've been with a few men and I chew the ear and I'm on a man ban at the moment though.
You're on a man ban?
Yeah. Well, I have been trying
So
to.
you're so delighted with yourself. Like
No,
how
it's
long
very
has that?
tough.
How long has
They're
that
very
been?
drawn to me.
They're very drawn to me. They're very drawn to me. They're very drawn to mama.
They are. I know. I'm trying to do a man band for like, a long time, my whole life maybe. But I did accidentally hook up with it last week or 2 weeks ago. And it was so, and anytime I do it, I regret it. I'm like, why the fuck, what a waste of bloody time. Total waste of time. Total crap. But if sex is out.
But if it had been a good sex, you will experience it.
I have not had good sex in a while. And a while. It's out. Sex is out. You heard it here, guys. It's like I would if I could have sex and be on my phone at the same time, but that's not really encouraged.
How could you be okay?
Just like on TikTok or whatever.
How long have you been?
Not
how long have we been broadcasting?
Hour and 5.
Oh, well done.
Okay, have you? I wanted to ask if you have been aware of Bonnie Blue.
Don't know what it means.
Okay.
Do you know what it is, Daniel?
Not sure.
Do you call him Daniel because you're about to say Jack?
I know, it's so bad.
Daniel.
Daniel.
Jack
Have you not
Daniel.
heard of Bonnie Blue? I thought you would. Fine young man like yourself. You
no.
may have. She's
maybe. I don't know.
It's crazy. I'll have to send you it. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. So this girl, Bonnie Blue, is an OnlyFans content creator. Very pretty girl. Like, she's British. She's quite posh and like, doesn't look like your average slut. She's quite classy with it. But she goes around and she has like a piece of cardboard, and it says, "I will bonk you for free if you let me film it." And then she goes on Instagram and gives out her location, and it's some house.
Jesus.
And she's like, "This is where I am." And these men are coming and they're like lining up for 8 hours, and they go in and out, in and out, in and out. And she's filming the whole thing. And it's like just loads of like a big gangbang.
Well, you could say that's art as well.
It is. It's totally art. It's totally
God,
art.
that's kind of some bizarre situation that is only enabled by social media or communications being the way it is.
Well, she was doing it in Australia as well, where she was going over. She lived in Australia, and she was going over for like Freshers Week in college, and just like doing like.
And does she charge each guy? Oh no, it's for free.
No, it's free, but she films it, so then she puts it on her OnlyFans.
Oh, I see.
So that's how she makes her money. And they can have their face blurred. They can't have had like any
tattoos.
No.
What?
Drink or drugs. They can't have, and they have to be 18, and they sign like a waiver form, and then and I thought it was like rage bait kind of marketing that she was. I didn't think it was real.
Yeah.
Because then it was coming out like, oh, that's a sex worker in one of her videos, and maybe it was all a kind of in joke. And she was on a podcast with her mum, and her mum is saying that she's cleaning up after these gangbangs, and she's like, "Oh, there's loads of lube and condoms. It's a job like any other job."
Well, look, it's such a rare thing to do. No, it's not like people, women are thinking, "Oh, I'm all inspired by this." But I mean, I don't know. Like, I suppose if she's, I don't know psychologically how it will affect her in the future.
It's
I hope
weird.
I hope it doesn't affect her too badly.
It's gotten so viral, and she's getting so much hate, and that's
hate.
Yeah, like she's actually, her visa was revoked from Australia. She's not allowed back in Australia.
Yeah, because it is. Yeah,
they were kind of saying that she is a predator because she's going to like Freshers Week, and they're like barely.
Oh, I
legal
see.
or
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I thought it was not true. I thought it was just kind of rage bait to get people to sign up, and then it was because sometimes OnlyFans people did it. Recently, someone like pretended that she had sex with a celebrity, but it was just look.
And so each guy has a go on her.
I mean, it's insane.
What do you mean it's insane?
So I didn't think it was real, and I don't watch porn usually, but I went on YouPorn and I was like, gangbang Bonnie Blue, trying to find this thing. I couldn't find it, but then my friend found it, and she sent it to me, and it's 40 minutes long, and it's her and another girl, and they're just kneeling in this room, and then they show all these men. So many men, and then she's like, "All right, boys, we're ready for you," and they come in, and oh my god, it's just like
what
dicks in mouth. First she's like this one, and then there's two in the hand, and the other girl, and they're just and then so they each get about 2 minutes. They're So they don't wait for them to come. They're barely even hard. Some of them. It's so gross.
Oh, so they only give them.
horrible.
They give. So if you can't come within those 2 minutes, you're out either way. Is that the idea?
So yeah, it's like 2 minutes that they get to go for it. But like that is, I just don't understand how all these men are doing that, and the women
are the ones that get into
like
it.
these men are anonymous.
Yeah,
like
right,
you just see their little legs and their socks and their t-shirts and the stuff they're saying when they're like, "Oh, I'm going to take," and there's loads of like the whole thing's being videoed and like loads of different cameras, and they're like, "I'm going to send this to your mum. This is what good girls do, innit? This is what good girls do." Yeah, and they're all around in a circle. They're willies, just willies.
What do you mean? I'm going to send this to your mum? What are you talking about?
That's what they were saying in the gangbang, and she's like, "I love it, love it." Oh my god, I've never seen something more depraved. It was like animals do not do that. If you're going by the deer in Phoenix Park, you never like this was like 2 dicks in the hand, one in the mouth and then one up the vagina. She doesn't do anal. Like, I mean,
it doesn't do anal.
Do you want to see it? Well, I send it to you. Oh my god.
I know, I can imagine.
You're going to be asking for that link.
No. No, I've seen like those
Have
big
you seen
gangbangs.
I've never seen one before. I couldn't believe. Why would you want to do that?
So that's how I met Hannah.
Huh?
Fuck's sake.
It's like they're doing it in like Blanchardstown.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they like rent out like an apartment, like an Airbnb, and they do like G. The drug is G.
Yeah, but it's down to the individual. I guess people get off on the weirdness of the whole thing or the publicness of that's what gets it.
She's only 25, I think.
I mean, it is funny. You were saying the other day that you were shagging some guy. And he said, "Tell me how old you are," or something.
Oh God, yeah. That
What was it?
That was so bad.
Bad in what way?
Just like weird. Like I don't want that.
That is so funny though. He was riding you. He was riding you, and then he says what?
He was younger. Like he was younger.
Yeah, how much younger?
What age would he have been? Maybe 10 years younger.
Okay.
So I'm 37. He was like 27.
Okay.
Totally, absolutely.
Right.
Legal and fine.
He's in the process of penetration.
Yeah, just like throwing it down, and then he's like, "Tell me your age. Tell me your age." And I'm like,
he's going like as he's saying, "Tell me your age."
I'm
go
like,
on.
37. Say it again. Say it again. I'm like, so I'm saying 37, 37,
That's
37.
So funny. He said that is hilarious. That is so funny.
It was like,
and were you while you were saying it, were you kind of going, "Okay, I'll just go along with this"?
I felt very degraded. Very old.
That's so
very
funny.
old.
And that got him going.
Yeah, he was loving it.
That's so funny.
Like as if I was like,
That's so great. I love it's fairly innocent in a way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know what you mean. It makes you're probably thinking, huh?
Okay, so
But maybe you could have got off on it as well and going, "Yeah, I'm 37 and you're 27," and the age gap is the thing that's exciting the two of you.
I don't know. I don't think I get turned on by age stuff. Maybe it's more of it. I just was like,
But it's just even a great little scene in some film, That's the thing about sex, how it's portrayed in films. It's always boring as fuck and just kind of like, and that's the kind of thing that would, because sex is a communication between the bodies, and who knows exactly what angle of it, where you have to. Some people like this, so it takes a while to figure it out, I guess. Although sometimes, as Tommy Tiernan would describe it, a good clatterfuck is you just get in there, and it's like 2 deck chairs just fucking blowing in the wind along the fucking beach, just like deck chair.
Like, yeah, that seems about right. I think it's
how
just
old?
Like,
how old are you?
I'm
37. Say it again. I'm 37. I'm 37. How old are you?
68. I'm 68.
Sex is weird as fuck. It's so weird. Like you
well,
go
it
out
is.
to
It
dinner,
is. It is. I know what you mean. Yeah, go on.
like,
you go
just-
out to dinner and it's all absolutely secretary, finance, mortgage, whatever. And then like 2 minutes
you're
later,
bashing.
a big hairy anus is. You can see your man, and you're going. I just was talking about fucking this.
Like I just don't know if I really,
know.
if I like it. Do I like it? I don't know. It's like.
Well, I think
I don't know,
maybe I don't know. You'll figure it out.
Like who would I like to have sex with? Let me think. Do I have anyone on my radar? I'm having like FaceTime sex or whatever. Like that's my niche right now. I like that. No contact sex, doing it on the phone. That's what I like. I have a friend who doesn't live in the country, so we just, you know, and it's great. It's just, I love it. Not getting pregnant.
Yeah.
I'm making myself come.
Yeah.
And I really like seeing, you know, all of the wanking gets me off. To be honest, I like the fapping sound, and I really like when they come and it kind of like fills it, just like a little swimming pool in their belly button. That gets me going. I don't like the whole sweaty kissing. I hate
it's so funny. It's so specific. I love it. It's so specific.
I like when they ejaculate and the sperm pools in the belly button area. That really floats my boat. It
because I like a bigger
my
man.
wheels.
So usually a bigger man has quite a deeper belly button. So then there's more. It's more like a fit man. It wouldn't collect in the belly button.
Wow.
So it usually a fatter man kind of like the fat kind of creates this pool. I just like that.
But I like. Look, the thing is though, it's hard to know. Is you know.
I just don't like. A few times I've had sex. Like I had very weird sex lately. Like I had. I'm off Instagram. I'm off socials and taking a break. And what really threw me over the edge with the Instagram was like. So when I was doing that whole story that I can't talk about, like I was getting a bit of male attention. They're like, fair play to you. And, you know, to be honest, I got a few rides out of it. This really attractive man was in my DMs and, you know, he was like, blah, blah, blah. We ended up having sex for about 10 minutes. Then his Apple Watch goes and he's like, and we're not having sex and we're like lying down in the bed. And I'm like, okay, this man wants to maybe have a little chat, it seems. He's maybe going through something. So the dad has Alzheimer's. He's going on about that. They actually weren't very close, and he calls him 50 times a day, and he then has to go and see the dad. And I was like, that was the weirdest interaction. This man came over. I don't know. We had intercourse in our course, and then none of us. I actually fake orgasm because I was so bored just to get it over with. I need to stop doing that, but it's a habit. And then we just stopped having sex, and then he's like telling me about his Alzheimer's dad, and then he's gone, and then I don't hear from him for a week, and then the next week I have a photo and I click into the photo and it's just one of those like 30-second photos and it's just his dick. Are you free? I was like, I'm getting off Instagram. I can't. This is too much.
What about do you like your neck being bitten?
I do like sporting a love bite.
Do you like you know the back of your neck? You know, do you like being, you know, I mean not bitten nuzzled? As in really hard, you know, like gnawed. Nuzzled. Like what are your erogenous? Could you fill out this form and tell me where your erogenous zone?
What do I like? What I would like is for a man to stop fucking like they're just about to go to the pub and tell all their bros. Because any man I've been with in the past 2 years, to be honest, and I'm sorry if you're listening to this, but any man I've been with is like fucking to go to the pub. You want to know what I do? Then they're fucking for the man. They're fucking for their friends. They're not seeing the person in front of them. And like, because the vaginas are very like, you just be doing this. You don't be doing that. Yeah. Like I once had a guy, my ex-boyfriend, who was like licking me out like that, and I was like, oh, I don't really like that. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I know what I'm fucking doing. I was like, well, I'm okay. Yeah. You know what you're doing. It's crazy to do that. Yeah. Like I usually have to take this ring off if I'm wanking because they're like, that ring. Yeah. I think I know what I'm doing. Deal with it. Like you can't do that. Yeah. It's crazy. Sex is out and just like I'm in love with my wand.
Well, there you have it, folks. Yeah. Look, if you're having sex with Lindsay, you know, don't be having sex like you're doing it so you can tell your mates. Do it in such a way
to pleasure the vagina. That's really the point.
Yeah, and she'll guide you.
Yeah, I'd love a willing like who's like, tell me how to pleasure you.
Right.
And then
and get over with that awkward part. Yeah.
And then we can go for it.
Go for it, yeah.
But I need to start fake orgasming. It is a terrible habit and I'm incredibly good at it. But I do it because I'm so bored of what I'm doing. I'm like, oh God, I came. That's enough of that now. I'm just like, I can't. And they're like, whoa, you came so quick. I'm like, yep, that's me. You're just fabulous at it. But I'd say you're a great lover because you're older.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I turn off the lights and I go to sleep as soon as possible.
after? Oh, you don't have a little like pillow talk.
I'm just aware of the fact that my son is there, and if I was if I was there and my dad was saying, "Well, look,
it's a bit late for that now."
It's a bit late for that now.
I'm
just saying.
Been said,
I'll talk about having sex.
This is totally different. Like,
if my father, just me listening to my father. Well, look, what I like to do is,
but I think
I like to go up to a woman, but close enough, with her permission, and just talk to her and just listen, and and there might be, sometimes you feel, like a bit of a no, it's like a horse whisper, where you just come up and you come around and you just go, you bump into her a little bit, and you just find the right, what is it, the dynamic between them. Yeah. No, but actually, in the same way, when we're talking, I think bodies. There's a type of communication. So this is good for you. This is not good for me. This is it. And it takes a while to start communicating, I guess, or talking. I like kind of the lights very low, because you're right. Like, that's another thing. If you can see people too clearly, like, I mean, like,
you were talking about the mirror thing a while ago.
Oh, I didn't like that at all.
No, it's hell.
Jesus Christ! I was
no.
This girl, this dentist. I don't want. Jesus, for
it's
fuck's
horrific.
sake, it's horrible.
My eyes are just staring at my lower stomach. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, right.
That is just hanging.
Okay.
And oh no, I don't like. I really just.
No, but I mean,
like
it takes a while to like. Yeah, like if you're having dinner and it's all very formal, and then suddenly you're naked with someone.
Yeah.
That's why I used to like drinking when I was drunk. You just
I know you're
just so inhibition. You're uninhibited.
You're tearing off the clothes. But
okay, look, Lindsay, genuinely a great discussion, and I think you agree that there is art and then there's real art. I think you did admit that.
Do you know what? I just think that you're always right. I've learned today.
And I'm old and disgruntled, hurtful. But not completely.
Old.
No, you're not.
Well, I've been called old for like 4 months, every day. So I'm old.
But look at your skin here on your neck. There's it's beautiful.
No, there
look,
is a bit. I'd love to get. You can get Botox in there. I'd love.
Are you crazy? Look at you've got beautiful tight skin. It's lovely and elastic.
Your skin is actually very well.
You're fantastic.
But like,
you are the one.
When did you stop drinking? Guess I still drink it. Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm over it now. I'm just old. I'm living as an old person. It's fine.
You dirty old skank. Now,
thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to cut that bit out.
No, keep it in. No. They should know who you really are.
Thank you, Daniel. And that was great.
You're fabulous, guys. Thank you for having me.
Oh, like and. Oh yeah, go on. Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're still recording, yeah.
Can I just say to the people who think, what did they say about the podcast? That's come to its
natural conclusion.
Yeah, fuck off. And don't listen. Fuck off. We don't need you. Because it doesn't matter whether you watch us or not. We'll be doing this anyway. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
rock
see
and
ya.
roll, guys. Yeah, you can't be listening to them.